Okay, here is the problem that my students are going to be working on. They're going to be working on several problems like this one. I thought I would demonstrate a couple of them and videotape it so that when they're home tonight working on their homework, they'll have a model to go by if indeed they are struggling with this. Now, the very first problem that we have says Harriet is finding the perimeter of an equilateral triangle. She used the diagram to find the length of one of the sides. Here is her work. So she says that parameter equals side plus side plus side. And then it shows that she found the parameter to be 55.5 yards. And we have to figure out what should she use as the value of S in her equation. My math practice that I'm going to use is number 3. Using what I know about equilateral triangles, I can determine whether or not her work is correct and figure out what she needs to use, what value she needs to use for those variables. Now, with equilateral triangle, if one side is 18.5 yards long, then all 3 sides are that. This will be 18.5 yards long. This will be 18.5 yards long. So when it wants to know what she should use as the value of S in her equation, she needs to use 18.5 yards long. For instance, she could say 18.5 plus 18.5 plus 18.5. And the unit of measure, of course, is yards. Now, I'm going to do this one kind of mentally, just to prove that it will equal 55.5 yards. I'm going to first focus on my halves. Here I have 1, 2, 3 halves. 3 halves is the equivalent of a whole and a half, 1 1/2. So I'm going to say 19, then 18, then 18, and I'm going to put my half here. So 8 and 8 is 18 plus 9. That's going to give me, 8 and 8 is 16, plus 9, which is going to give me 25. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, so I got 55.5 yards. So the parameter, sure enough, was 55.5 yards. So all I did with this problem is I used what I know about equilateral triangles. I know that all 3 sides are congruent. So if one side is 18.5 yards, the other 2 sides are that same length. And so 18.5 yards would be the value of S in her equation.